What's up, guys? This is your favorite bearded gamer, Magus2K, and this is my Between the Sticks podcast where I talk about games, gamers, and the gaming industry. And on the podcast with me, I have my co-host, buddy of mine, named him is Super Beasto, Super Beasto 14. Beast, what's up, man?
Going good, man. What's happening?
It's going good. It's going good. Same shit, different toilet. You know how that is.
Yeah.
But, I always like to start this thing out talking about games we're playing and games we're excited for. And I'll start with you. What are you playing currently?
Oh, man. Okay, so a couple of weeks back, I got Final Fantasy Type 0 HD.
Okay.
But in reality, obviously everyone out there will agree that they just got it just for the 15 demo.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's the only reason I want it. I heard it was awesome.
I'll talk about the demo.
Yeah.
The demo is simply awesome. Graphically, it's just gorgeous. Gameplay, as far as from the demo itself, is great.
Okay.
If there's ever any slight nitpicking, it would be the fact that maybe there was some slight slowdown. But I'm just going to give it the benefit of the doubt that was because it's a demo.
Okay. Okay.
I
heard it was really long too, like the demo. I heard it was like a few hours long.
It was like 3 hours, maybe 4 if you're trying to grind through it because of the main boss you play in the demo is a big behemoth, and just the amount of scale between characters, enemies, and then obviously the summons are just beyond realistically crazy.
Okay.
If you were us being 6 feet, 6'4", the behemoth easily stands at least 18 to 20 feet tall if it stood on its hind legs.
Yeah.
And when during the later parts of the demo, you got to beat this monster.
Okay.
And you go through these different dungeons to get to it, and at some point you acquire Ramua for a summon.
Nice.
The thing is that you cannot summon him as you would in regular Final Fantasies, where you go to a menu, hit summon, and then select him. You have to meet a criteria, which in this case was I had to be at 0 health.
All your characters, or just the character that summoned you?
I guess the main character, Noctis, has to be at 0 health. And then you have the option to either try to revive yourself with potions, or at that point you can summon Ramua. And I'm probably butchering the name, but that's, I don't know. Take it for
that's what we've called them since Final Fantasy VII, or even earlier than that. I've always called them Ramua.
Yeah.
And I don't think.
I think it's just Ramua. I don't know. In any case, so what's crazy about the summons is that, especially in this particular case, is that the whole concept is you're trying to walk around because you're beat up. Okay. You're holding X because it tells you to hold X to summon them. Now all of a sudden, in the battle, whether it be night or daylight, the sky is clear. If you're in the daylight, obviously the sun's shining. And all of a sudden, once you successfully cast a summon, all of a sudden, you see the sky turn dark. You see the clouds starting to spiral. All of a sudden, lightning starts to shoot out, and the wind picks up. So shit's about to go down. And all of a sudden, you see this giant hand pick up your character. It manifests, picks the character up, and it's him, the old man with his big cane or staff. And all of a sudden, he's about, now, going back to how the behemoth is scaled to around 20 feet tall, maybe 25 if he's standing on his hind legs. Okay, maybe I'll say 30. So if you imagine someone that's 30 feet tall, Ramua, the summon, is about the size of the Statue of Liberty.
Shit.
So all of a sudden, he picks up your character, summons his staff in the sky, and, accumulates lightning from his staff, and literally just stabs the staff to the ground, and you see everything explode in lightning, a bunch of burn damage occurs around the entire area, and you see the behemoth's life just literally go to 0.
That's fucking awesome.
I would honestly recommend you and any one of your viewers to after this to go ahead and YouTube remove Final Fantasy 15. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I was gonna do that when you told me to the other day, and I completely forgot to.
You honestly should. Your jaw will just literally drop.
Yeah, I definitely plan on getting on that. Eventually I think I will get Type 0. just because it's another Final Fantasy game, and you better believe I'm gonna get down on that demo. Um, it kind of like I thought about it for a while when Type Zero was released and they announced that the 15 demo was going to be on it.
Right.
I kind of thought like, how do you put like a demo to an RPG? You know what I mean? Like on a game, because a normal RPG can take you 50, 60 hours a beat, and it's like I've always thought like who decides or like how is it decided how many hours to make the demo for like an RPG such as Final Fantasy, and I never could wrap my head around it. But I mean, I think for this game, I think 3 to 4 hours is I think it's a good time to make the demo.
Now, now the way as you're playing a demo, it simply is like Final Fantasy 15 chapter, and I forgot the title of the chapter, but but that's how it goes. It's just like per chapter as you go along.
Okay.
So, in this particular case, your car breaks down, and you took it to the local garage, and obviously there's a Sid in the game.
Of course.
But this time it's a chick.
Because what Final Fantasy game?
Right. Which one?
What's a Final Fantasy game without a Sid?
Right. And in this particular case, Sid is noted as a character in it, but the one that you deal with, I guess, is like a daughter or a granddaughter. Okay. And her name is Cindy. So yeah.
Watch out.
What is there though? And well, like I said, enough about 15. I'll say this: when I was playing Type Zero, story-wise, it seemed cool, and in the intro, like it was probably the more, like the introduction was so realistically, like horrifically gory that it was kind of odd. Like you see people like start to die, and like Pokeballs are like bleeding, and it was just like the most like surreal like wake up call I probably ever seen in an introduction to any Final Fantasy, because you see people get gunned down and things of that nature. You see blood, and I don't ever remember even seeing that in like any of the other games. I don't think even like the latest like installments for like Final Fantasy 13. I never see people bleed. So this was the first. So it's kind of neat seeing that in the introduction.
Okay.
Story gameplay wise, it's hard to get used to. It's almost like playing Dirge of Cerberus a little bit, where it's kind of like your character runs around, you're trying to take out enemies with like different like controls. It's a lot different.
Okay. I have to check that game out too.
I haven't given up on it. I'm just not a fan of it at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'll eventually get around to it, and maybe on our next one, I'll give you an update.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good, man.
What about you, man?
Well, as you know, the House of Wolves DLC came out for Destiny this past week. I haven't gotten a chance to dive too deep into it. I've only played a few of the story missions that are added from the DLC. But it seems like they've added more than the first DLC, The Dark Below, that released.
Okay.
Because it seems, for The Dark Below, it seems, I don't know, to me it seemed a little short. For The Dark Below, they added a few story missions. They added some, extra bounties, the equipment that you can obtain. And they added a raid. For this House of Wolves, they added some story missions. They added a new social location. So, like you have your tower.
Right.
They added a new one in the reef. So like the queen that you run into, that cutscene where you like hunt somebody for her.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so she grants access to all the guardians to her reef, and that's like another social location. So there's more story missions you can do. There's more bounties. There's more equipment. There's a new strike, and there's a new. It's almost like a survival mode. It's called Prison of Elders.
Okay.
It's almost like it's like a survival type mode where you team up with 3 other people, and you go to this thing, and there's like 5 different rooms that you go into, and each room you have to fight off like 3 waves of enemies, and there's like other like mini objectives you have to do, and And like once you beat that, then I don't know if it's in the fifth room or after the fifth room, you have to fight a boss. And that's how I've seen like on Facebook people obtaining all this new equipment, like new legendary gear and new exotics. I don't know what else is going to be added to this. There's a new multiplayer thing. It's called, I think it's called the Trials of Osiris, I think.
Yeah, I saw it as a notification when I logged in last night.
Okay, so it's a thing where you kind of buy this token to get access to it, and you play multiplayer against like another team, but it's almost like skirmish where you have a team of three, and you have to go through kind of like 5 rounds in a single match, and it's basically the one that I played was like team deathmatch, but when somebody dies, they stay dead until a teammate revives them. So it's like apparently it's just like trying to eliminate the other team before they eliminate you. You can revive your teammates, and once all three of the people on your fire team die, then that specific like round is over out of the 5.
Right.
And you get like 3 matches that you can play that you can lose. The whole point of this Trials of Osiris is to keep playing and keep winning consecutive matches. And I guess once you start getting yourself on a winning streak and winning consecutive matches, then you start winning all of the good, good gear like your exotics and your legendaries and stuff like that.
Okay.
I haven't got a chance to really kind of dive into that yet. Like I said, I just did a couple of these story missions and a few of the bounties, and that's all I've had a chance to do. Because as you know, I am still hooked on Final Fantasy 14.
Right, I see you play that a lot.
Yeah, dude, that game is so fun, man. Especially when you have like other people to play with.
Right.
So I've been working on that. I have a Dragoon that I've been trying to level up. Because I believe it's the end of next month. The first DLC comes out for Final Fantasy 14, which is called Heaven's Word.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get like my character maxed out to as many jobs maxed out as I can to level 50 before this DLC comes out, because I don't know what exactly is going to be in it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a continuation from where the actual game left off, and I'm assuming for this DLC your character has to be leveled up all the way to continue on and go through all the stuff that the DLC has to offer. So I've been putting most of my time into that game and trying to complete all that stuff. So that's the main game I've been playing. I mean, besides Final Fantasy and Destiny, I guess I've been kind of still touching on the Xenoblade Chronicles 3D for the new Nintendo 3DS.
Right.
That game is awesome too. I don't know, I'm like maybe 10 hours into that game, 12 hours.
It sounds like you do not make a dent in it whatsoever, man.
No, I heard that's well over 70 to beat the game. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's mainly the stuff I've been working on. You always see me online. I'm always playing Final Fantasy.
Right, I know.
Yeah. So the first big topic that I kind of wanted to talk about, I put this first because this is probably one of the things I'm most excited for. I don't know if you've heard that Nintendo announced that they're partnering with Universal Studios.
Oh man, I heard that they were going to team up with their amusement park like division, because they were going to go ahead and bring like attraction Nintendo related.
Finally, dude, I brought this up a few years ago. I don't even remember how long it was ago, but like I was telling people that they need to do this. Like it'd be a fantastic idea. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're stupid. It's a dumb idea," and this and that. I'm like, "Okay, you can think that," but I was like, "It's gonna happen." I was like, "I can only, it's gonna happen." And sure enough, here you go. They're partnering with Universal Studios. Yeah, I think it would be cool to have kind of like a Nintendo Land, or what, I don't know what they're gonna name it, but some sort of Nintendo themed theme park. I think it'd be kind of cool. Like, do you remember that old? It was kind of like a corny show, Legends of the Hidden Temple on
Yes,
on Nickelodeon.
Yes. That was the shit back then, man.
They need to do something like similar to that, where like one of the parts of the attraction needs to be some sort of like Legend of Zelda dungeon that you can actually like you yourself can go through, and you have to like make your way and beat the enemies and solve the puzzles and find the keys, unlock the stuff, get your item, and beat the boss and beat the temple. Like there has to be some sort of attraction that has something to do with that, because that would be freaking like amazing. Like I would drop whatever I'm doing and I would go there in a heartbeat. Like if they took like dude, like imagine if they took say like the Force Temple from Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
And made that into some sort of attraction that you can go through and actually physically yourself beat like that temple. Like that, how is that not awesome? Like that's a fucking fantastic idea. And Nintendo, if you're listening, you need to make it happen.
Now you know that for any consideration for like amusement, you know that granted it's for the kiddies, so you don't know that the first thing that's gonna come out is Pokemon.
Hey,
you know they're gonna have little like.
I still play Pokemon. Count me in. I'll fucking go. Like right now. You wanna do this? I will go.
Well, dude, you and me were supposed to get Ruby and Sapphire, but
still working on that. Still working on that.
Oh man,
that's gonna happen too eventually.
Yeah.
I should have got that. Dude, I have this $25 off coupon for GameStop that I've just been kind of holding, and I don't know what to use it on. Maybe I should use it on that.
I got something similar, man, for my birthday. It was like, you got like $20 off your purchase. Like,
yeah, I mean, hey, there you
go. But the thing is, man, if I buy Pokemon, and like I know that for some reason I'm gonna stop playing everything else, and then go back to a point where
that's what I'm worried about too. Because when we bought X and Y,
yeah,
everything else I owned did not exist until I finished that game.
Yeah, but so I remember beating. If anything, you're the one that hooked me up with I want to say
Y.
Yeah, you hooked me up with Y, and man,
that was back when the games came out, and if you registered a new Nintendo, if you registered a Nintendo 3DS, they offered you the download code for either X or Y, or I think it was like a number of games. It was X, Y, and then I think it was like maybe 2 other games.
I want to say it was just the Pokemon games, man. That was because you just bought the Yoshi 3DS.
Yes, I did.
Which now is in someone else's hands because now you got the black new 3DS XL.
You better believe it.
Okay.
In fact, we're doing this live. First of all, here's my Zelda case, my Majora's Mask new 3DS carrying case, and yeah, got the new 3DS.
Let's see.
Awesome.
The only thing I could supposedly ever show off in this particular case.
That's a classic. You show that thing off.
Let's see. Live. Gotta undo all the cheapo casing. But let's see. Yes. Legend of Zelda Gold and Black 3DS XL. So perfect.
That's the way to do it.
Fine with in here. Super Smash Brothers 3DS.
Nice. And of course, as I just told you, I've been working on Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. But yeah. So Nintendo needs to make that happen with that theme park. They need to make a Zelda attraction. I would go there in a heartbeat. And I can guarantee you one other person that would be there. Like, I mean, actually, I already know that he said he's going to be there day one. And that would be Mr. Triforce Johnson.
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
That man pretty much predicted it. I remember seeing a video way back. I think it was 2011.
Yeah.
He said Nintendo's going to do it, and then all these people were like, no, they're not. You don't know what you're talking about. And sure enough, look at they're partnering with Universal Studios, and they're going to do it. People need to learn their shit, man. Especially when it comes to Nintendo. You don't mess with him. So, How about them new 2015 Nintendo World Championships?
I'm excited as all hell, mainly because it's been. You figured the last ones that were ever held were probably way back, like
It was in the NES era. The last time they did it was in the NES era.
so you figure at least at the most like 1992, because I think 93, 94. I think this when Super came out. I could be wrong.
I thought the last one that they did was like in '87 though, or maybe it was even
I thought they had.
'89 or something. I don't remember if there was.
I gotta go back. I want to say you're right because how they had the stupid, well, not stupid, but how they had the movie. Oh God, it's off the tip of my tongue. I can't remember it. But like you always see like the
Fred Savage.
Yes, where he's like,
The movie was called
like you see the Power Glove come out.
The Wizard. What's the name of that movie?
This is bad. This is bad.
Did you hear? He said, I don't know if he said it on social media or if somebody asked him, but he said he wanted to go to this year's World Championships.
He should, by all means. I mean,
he should bring the NES Power Glove 2 with him.
Oh God, dude! I can only imagine like regular adults trying to put on that glove now. Like I bet it can only fit like 3 fingers, and
I know, right?
You gotta just strap it and just play it on the side.
Yeah, I do know for a fact that the last time they did the Nintendo World Championships, it was in the NES era because they released that actual World Championships NES cartridge. I don't know if you remember that. And they had ones that came out in gray, and then they had the one. I think it was, if I remember right, I think it was only like 2 in the world that were made that were actually like the gold cartridge, and those things are worth like well over $1 million right now. But I don't remember what games were used for the championships. And I remember I thought it was Super Mario Brothers, and I thought it was like the world. I forget what the name of it. The world.
Oh, the world class track meet.
Yeah, that's it. That used that Nintendo little running pad.
Yeah.
And I still have that thing in my basement somewhere. And I thought it was another game. Was it Duck Hunt or something? Or was it?
No, I can't imagine Duck Hunt, man. I thought it was Super Mario. I thought it was the Super Mario Brothers game. I thought it was Super Mario Brothers 3. So I thought it was the third one, world class track meet, and I don't want to say it's Duck Hunt, but I don't think for some reason well, you figure it was all about points back then. So maybe it could have been Duck Hunt. I could have sworn maybe it was another shooter.
Could have been. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember, like, if that game would have came out, like, we'll say around 1990, like, you and me would have probably been around the ages of, like, 5.
Yeah.
And by
in 1990, I was 5.
So.
God, we're fucking old, dude.
We're not that old, man. We're in the golden age of era where we can still get down on all the new consoles and yet still old school the hell out of everyone playing the old ones.
Okay. You don't feel old?
How
about this?
You going into your 30s, me already being in them. The only thing that I can say is
Hold on. Let me cut you off real quick.
Okay.
Let's put it this way. This weekend was Pac-Man's 35th birthday. 35.
35.
Pac-Man.
Man, that's a lot of that's a lot of eating he did. This Pac-Man guy. No.
So yeah, that went on this weekend. Yeah, dude. I mean, just all these anniversaries. Like next year, I believe is Zelda's 30th anniversary.
Oh God, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man. Was it? I don't know what anniversary it is for Super Mario. Was it 25? No, it can't be 20.
No, I think 25 already passed because I think
no, it might be 30. It might be 30. I think this might be Super Mario Brothers' 30th anniversary as well.
Huh.
But I found out for the 2015 Nintendo World Championships, the game they're going to use, which kind of boggles my mind, is the Ultimate NES Remix
Oh, okay.
for 3DS.
Oh,
Yeah, I kind of thought they were going to head in the Wii U direction for that,
right.
but I don't know. That's kind of odd to me. Using like a, I mean, I don't have any problem with them using a handheld game for that, but I don't know.
Um.
Yeah, I think I would if it were up to me, you'd have to go console, right? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you want? I gotta check out what they have in the actual like NES remix because I could have because
Oh, it's Super Mario Brothers. It's Duck Hunt. I believe it's Zelda 2. It might even be Legend of Zelda. Are you looking it up?
yeah, I'm looking at because there. See, the thing is, there's they call it the Ultimate NES remix, and that's for the Wii U,
Mm-hmm.
or at least there's a version on the Wii U. So
And 3DS, yeah.
so I imagine they're gonna go. You know what? For some reason, though, I think they're gonna use the Wii U version because it has more games. So
Well, that's the thing. I thought they would, but they announced that they're using the 3DS version.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I think it was on Nintendo's website.
okay. Well, I got the lineup for I guess the. Okay, so ultimate. Okay, because that one comes with more. So here's the official lineup. So for the 3DS, NES Remix, which is the ultimate one,
Yeah.
you get the following: Balloon Fight,
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong Jr.,
Okay.
Dr. Mario, Excite Bike, Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, the original Mario's Brothers, Metroid,
Mm-hmm.
Punch Out, not Mike Tyson's Punch Out, but the original.
Okay.
Now, of course, everyone knows about Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
The Japanese and U.S. versions of Super Mario Brothers 2,
Okay.
or as we call it, the Lost Levels.
Oh, that. Okay. Okay.
Super Mario Brothers 3, The Legend of Zelda,
Okay.
and Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link.
So there's 15 games.
So there's 16 games are in this one for the 3DS.
Okay.
Holy crap!
It still boggles my mind why you would use 3DS.
You figure because that's the most games. The only thing that
I understand that, but it just kind of, I mean, unless they're maybe somehow streaming it and like maybe projecting it on like a bigger screen.
see, I think
Because there's going to be a lot of people there, so you're going to have all these people hovering over, X amount of 3DS, systems that are going to be played at the same time while other people play them. It just kind of seems odd instead of having a bunch of people watch a big screen, than having a bunch of people hovering around, however many 3DSs they're going to have there. You know what I mean? It kind of just seems odd for me.
I do see your point. Now, I don't know if they sell like a cable, a peripheral that you can display out to a TV, or I'm not sure, or if you could hook up the 3DS to the Wii U, and then from the Wii U, like it projects the picture.
Right.
I'm just not certain in terms of how they're going to broadcast or show off, or maybe they might not do that. I imagine like they'll have like 4 people in the station with their 3DSs, and then they're just going to like pretty much play through. And you're going to have like some kind of judge, and he's going to time you, and you got like that much seconds. Then you got to drop your not drop, but you got to stop your session, and then I guess they're going to tally up the points or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I do see your point, though. I mean, you figure if you're trying to, not only are you trying to get the people, but you're trying to appease the crowds that are watching.
Right.
So I could see why why you would imagine like we'll use the Wii U version. We'll go ahead and display it up to like TVs they have.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely understand that it would make more sense to go with the game that has more games in it. So I guess that makes sense. Um, so you heard one of the locations is right up our alley.
Right. You found out that one of the locations was going to be towards Upper Illinois.
Yeah, Schaumburg, Illinois, in Best Buy. Which, I mean, is only, what, a couple hours from where we live?
I
If
think it's
that.
like an hour and a half.
Yeah. And you know that the championships are going to be held a week from yesterday. So this coming Saturday.
Right. Which in every case I have I have made sure that no plans were made, so I can go ahead and do this.
We should go, dude. We should totally do this.
We should.
Just for the experience, I think. I mean, when's the last time I did this? Over 15 years ago?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, man. We were too young to even do it that time,
Yeah, you got to do it.
so we got to do it at least so that way, if it happens again, maybe in another 15 years at least. Man, oh, nah, I'm not gonna think about that right now.
All right. Next big topic. As you know, it was sort of announced that Konami and Hideo Kojima are parting ways.
Well,
This one's kind of a big one.
okay. What I can say is, you know what? The fact that a lot of the news lately, how Konami was going to get away from the consoles, that they're just go ahead and just do mobile, and like some of the other, I don't want to say crappy stuff like mobile and like I don't know small apps like that, but you figure for a company that Contra, Castlevania, which I'll probably talk about in a minute with Igarashi about how he left, but like you figure for all those like grand titles that people cared about, Ninja Turtles the arcade game and like some of the other ones, you figure they had such a legacy, and for them to just be like, whatever, next. I don't want to say that makes me angry. It's just it's a damn shame.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, kind of the reason why he left, because it seemed like the only thing they wanted him to focus on and make were Metal Gear Solid games. And I don't even know. Like, it kind of upsets me too, because there is a long legacy of games that Konami has made, and I'm pretty sure he had some part, in making these games.
Right.
But it seemed like as of late, especially like last generation with PS3, it seemed like all they wanted him to do was make your Metal Gear Solid games, and you can't do that. Like, there's other stuff that he can do. There's other games that he could have taken part in making. Having him just focus on one series is kind of like a slap in the face to me. I mean, I think that's how I would take it. And I think the fact that he was working on this PT game, this Silent Hills game,
yeah,
I think it was already too late. Like, that relationship was already already in shambles. And even though he was working on this game, he still left. So I don't know. I mean, ever since Metal Gear Solid 4, every Metal Gear Solid game he made after that, he always said it was his last one.
right.
And even though he said that, here you go with another one. Another one would release. So that kind of told me that, okay, he kind of wanted this series to be done with, and Konami, looks like they just kept pushing him. Like, no, we need you to make another one. We need you to make another one. And, I mean, I can see how he kind of got tired,
Right.
doing stuff like that. So with him leaving Konami, I think after Metal Gear Solid, this Phantom Pain releases, I think that's it.
Now, that is way the opposite of like some of the other developers, like from Capcom and even from the other one from Konami. I feel bad for Hideo Kojima because on the one side, like he just he wants to do something else, and he wants to. And the thing is, he doesn't want to be like bothered so damn much, like to almost feel like you have to be obligated for like a contract. Like, damn, like now I got to make this last game so I can get out of this contract so that I can do whatever.
Right.
And it's just now. Granted, I imagine it's gonna be an awesome game, but the fact that to almost say like he might go into the mentality of like, all right, I just got to get to this last game so I can be done with this contract to fulfill all obligations. It, in a way, it's cool because now he can do something else. And in another sense, it just feels sad because it's like, not because the series is ending. I just feel like, in it, like whatever mentality you have during the making of the game, like I gotta describe it. You want things to end the way that they should, maybe in a better place, and it seems like he's not going to get that with Konami.
No.
Now, what's interesting about his situation, and then in other considerations on the other end, where you have Koji Igarashi, who created like
Castlevania, yeah.
who they were like, nah, there's no interest in the games. Nah, you shouldn't be making them. And how he just said, you know what, whatever, I'm leaving. Because I know there's people that still want to play him.
Yeah, for here.
And obviously, Inafune for Mega Man, you know that, when same thing with him, he left so he could do Mighty Number 9 and the spiritual successor.
I hope that game is like a humongous fucking hit to slap Capcom in the face for not wanting him to continue the Mega Man series.
Right, and you know what? I hope that Inafune and Igarashi, both with their respective games, I hope that they rock out so damn good that it's like the ultimate like slap. Like,
it makes their former companies want them back, and then they're like, no, we're good. You didn't want us, so we're just gonna do it on our own, and fuck off, basically.
Man, I guess the only question that comes to mind is, do you feel like, since Hideo Kojima finally broke off with Konami or however it went, do you feel like, in general, like, I guess the creators of like big franchises, do you feel like they should just split off just so that they can pursue like their own interests or like at least keep like a legacy alive in terms of what they want to work on? Or
in the case of Hideo, I hope so. Like it seemed like it was the better idea for both parties that he leave, because they weren't helping each other out. They were making him create games that he wanted the series to be done with, and the fact that they're making him create more of these games from a series that he wanted ended and to be done with. He's not creating stuff that he wants to at this point. Like, he's just trying to please, just trying to please the company and just honoring this contract that he has. And he'll continue to do that until he had the chance to leave, and he did. So I hope he goes off on his own and creates his own development organization and creates some badass games. Even new IPs, new series, and I hope he does really well. Like, I hope he gets the games out that he wants to, and even though I know this whole PT demo was now officially canceled,
right.
So Project Silent Hills is not going to be made. Yeah, I wish Kojima the best. And I hope he, like I said, creates some badass games and shows Konami that they lost a huge name in the video game industry.
Now, I guess as a follow-up, so you see all the creators from like these popular series just split up, do their own thing. Obviously, they're gonna pursue their own interests in what they develop. And things like that. Now, do you feel that maybe? Now I really don't know the creator or the thing off the top of my head, but do you feel as though like maybe some of the ones from SquareSoft should do the same thing?
See, SquareSoft, I don't know.
Or I guess let me spit out another question. You see SquareSoft, they're trying to go for the mobile. They have their own apps for it, and now Konami's doing the same thing. They say that the future is in mobile. Do you honestly believe that?
Not really. If they're looking to go mobile, the thing I worry about the most is the whole microtransactions.
Okay.
If they go that direction, I think I would lose respect for them. At that point, they're not even caring about the gamers or the industry. They're just caring about how much money can we make. And that's my opinion. But
No, I would honestly agree with that. There's no doubt about that. I would feel like at that point, like not to say I would lose respect for them, because obviously if the company's still going cool, but I guess if something like for like microtransactions and things like that, like I guess my expectations will go down for that company, just like a little bit down.
yeah, it's rough. I mean, that's kind of like I wouldn't say a touchy subject, but it's kind of like a sensitive one, just because you don't know what's going to happen. Are they going solely mobile, or are they doing both, like for consoles and mobile?
I think honestly, it was an article I was trying to read, and they said that they were going to mostly just like phase out like console altogether and really shift towards mobile.
I don't know.
And like I said, they have their reasons. I don't think it's that important to shoot for it, mainly because you still have a lot of good franchises under your belt.
Yeah,
and it just seems like for some reason they just don't want to like. I mean, I don't remember reading that Konami was going broke, or maybe they haven't.
Me either.
But I mean, I don't remember like a point where like they have to go mobile because of loss of interest for other series. I mean, I guess like in my mind, like they're trying to reach numbers to something like Destiny or Call of Duty, and it's just like no, you should not aim your goal to outbeat those games in sales. If anything, you should just
they won't.
Yeah, they won't. So
just because especially for Call of Duty, man, that fan base is so extensive. As far as number of units sold, that's a number to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and it's very hard to really deal with it. But I think the company shouldn't I don't know. They should not go into a mentality like we're gonna shoot that high. It's like no, man. It's just if you got like those 3 million people that play your franchise, then you hope that when you release another one, like you'll get those 3 million and then maybe an extra few.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I guess that's a whole nother subject for another time. But man,
yeah. So that whole PT demo that was being worked on. So when Kojima left Konami, they were actually when Hideo left Konami and they announced officially the cancellation of this PT game that was being worked on. People started selling PlayStation 4 consoles on Amazon and eBay with this PT demo installed for shit tons of money. And people were buying them. And then Konami went on those pages and forced them to take those sales off. And then further, they were, I don't know how they did this, but they made it to where if anybody still had the demo on their PS4s, it would basically disable them from playing any digital purchases, any digital purchased games.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Man. Um, Now this is gonna go to a very big gray area because mainly, sure, I mean, you figure a project's canceled, fine, you scrap whatever there is, or maybe you just archive it.
Right.
The fact that, however, it got leaked and it was shown off. The fact that Konami itself, wait, is it Konami?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're pretty much beating up on Konami today, but no, you figure, fine, they got to go reach out to Sony, and in terms like they have to negotiate a manner to. I don't see that's the problem. I don't. They have their reasons, and as valid as they are, it's uncomfortable to know that they have to really just lock down I guess their demo to where it just pretty much breaks your system for any online purchases. No, it may not be a big deal for people that bought that. They got their physical copies of their games.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if you had problems because I know you already had the demo on pre-order. I think that's what it was.
Well, I had the demo installed,
right.
but I wasn't playing it, so I removed it to free up some space. And if you didn't re-download it by a certain day, they removed it from the PSN store. So I wasn't able to put it back on my PlayStation.
Okay.
But that doesn't matter anyway because they were doing that bullshit too now.
It just seems like, for them to contact Sony and then to do all their back end stuff to remove the demo. I guess by business practice they may not be so bad or obscure because I imagine, people that put out bad copies or buggy versions of a game,
right?
At some point that's what they do to recall it. Now for the fact that now, like I said, that's on the system side, so I could kind of see they didn't really bend or break anything there other than make it inconvenient. Now now for eBay, on the other hand, for good for Konami, I guess, to go and have people dig in on eBay to stop those auctions. Now, the only thing that would make me mad at that particular point is if you were a guy that purchased a copy off eBay. The problem is that you paid, we'll say, $400 for the system, even with taxes like $450 or whatever, including shipping.
Okay.
And so I don't remember how much they went for, but I'll just say an estimated we'll say $700.
Okay. Yeah.
You're at that point where you're an eBay, you bought the thing, it came in. Not only did whatever you do, you can't download games, you can't do anything online because you got the demo, and you have to uninstall it. But I don't think now there could be articles that could be wrong. I haven't read any of them. I just know that there's no particular point where an eBay purchase would be protected. Because in all reality, you bought it in the manner that it was advertised.
Right.
And so there was nothing wrong with the advertising other than the fact they found out that due to a third party, in this case Sony, had to remove it. So there's no way. So I don't think there's a way for people to get their money back on their systems. They are just maybe screwed at that particular point.
That's what it seems like. And I don't know if anybody... I don't remember reading anything about anybody actually getting their money back or maybe filing a complaint or anything, but I don't know how that went down if they actually did end up buying a console with that demo installed, only to find out probably by the time they got it that you couldn't even play it anyway. So I don't know what happened with that, but these scalpers, man, piss me off. I love to slap them.
And it's hard to describe a feeling that you can give in that situation. I mean, if you were fortunate enough to have the pre-order or the demo on the store before it was removed, and you were able to play it, great. If if it was free, obviously, then good for you guys. To all the viewers and everything. If you were one of the unfortunate people that had to like get off of eBay, and maybe it's a perk for getting a new system, and you find out you couldn't play it, and that was, I don't want to say the main reason, but hey, why not go for it? You paid that extra so many $100 that I feel sorry for all you guys, because that just simply sucks.
Yeah, that's shitty.
It is. But hey, I will. So you figure, okay? So Hideo Kojima is gonna, he's leaving. Maybe in the future he might take up doing Silent Hill. It would seem like a concept that he'll do.
I mean, because did you play the demo?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
It was a real. I mean, I thought like based off the demo, like the game was going to be really good. Like it was going to be a very fantastic game. And the fact that now it's canceled, it kind of sucks, So I hope sometime in the future, Kojima makes his own development company or joins another one, and then redoes this game, remakes it, or whatever he has to do to get it out. I hope he gets it done, because it seemed like it was going to be a really good game.
I honestly think that
its product was finally released.
I honestly think that he'll do that, maybe.
Yeah.
Obviously, because Konami owns the name or the copyrights for Silent Hill. It'll be just like everyone else, like Mighty Number 9. Like they'll be their own spiritual successors for Silent Hill and whatever it's named. Hopefully,
he does.
Don't step it, but at least, if he does go for it, I'd say more power. And if it's like everyone else where they do Kickstarter, you know what? That's fine. I'll pitch in those $10, and then,
hey,
if it's met, that's awesome. So, and I'm sure that people that were angry at the devil being gone, or for the fact of another very decent Silent Hill game.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are going to pitch in on Kickstarter to.
Oh yeah, if Konami, joined a development organization or made his own and created a Kickstarter, they can guarantee there'd be a lot of people that would support it. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. I guess only time will tell.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, that's kind of a subject I think that deserves its own podcast, because there's so much stuff to talk about as far as what happened and what could happen or what's going to happen with both Konami and Kojima.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, the last topic I wanted to bring up was this year's E3 convention.
Yes. The best of the demos, the best of new frontiers, the best of what could possibly come out.
Yeah. I would say, what are your expectations? Let's go through the let's go to the three main companies, I would say.
Okay.
That I think most people watch for. Let's start with Microsoft.
Okay. For some reason, I imagine they're going to start out with. I think the hype about Halo is over. I honestly think it's over.
The new was it called?
I don't want to say it was something like Halo 5, or maybe that was it. But
Halo. I don't remember what it was called. It looked like it could be a really good game though.
Chief Collection, and people got to reminisce about that. I think it's Halo 5 is the actual sequel. Maybe they'll go in depth on that. But after that,
Halo 5 Guardians, I think is what it's called.
Halo Guardians. Good for them if they can still make money. But man. And I can't knock Halo, because obviously that's what started out that's what made other IPs like Call of Duty and all the other ones just come out and be alive. It's just, man, it's almost like you want to hate at them, and at the same time you can't.
Yeah. I could never knock Halo, only because Halo 2 is a game that got me started playing online.
Yeah.
And those were like some of the best gaming days of, I guess, my recent life, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I play that game religiously with just coworkers, and we played at 5 in the morning every night. And it was just a lot of fun. And I've been gaming online ever since. Just that was the game that kind of kickstarted it for me. So I can never knock Halo.
Nah, I can't either. I'll have to give it that.
Yeah.
Besides Halo, I imagine they might. Now, I imagine they'll do stuff in terms of, I guess, for television's sake. Like there was apps where like you can watch live TV now.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to build apps in now where maybe you kind of cut the cable, you can kind of give, you can kind of live off of just like streaming and things like that. I know some people like there's the Plex viewer on Xbox One, and that was kind of like its own thing, like Xbox Media Center, where you got your downloaded things, you can stream it from somewhere. I know it just seems like Microsoft is going to try to aim a little bit towards like watchable consumership things. Like it's going to be all about streaming. Games themselves, I don't know what they could incorporate other than maybe an update to Killer Instinct or maybe even some kind of maybe they got another new IP. I know they can still farm off some older IPs, but that's about it. I can't imagine Microsoft really having much other than concentrating more on the system itself, or maybe some other IP they have.
Yeah, I can see them maybe announcing a new IP or two. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they could make an announcement or maybe like an addition, some sort of addition to the Xbox One, or maybe I don't know, maybe like a new big software update or something that can allow it to do other things that it couldn't do before.
I think if anything, they might just push more the hardware than anything. I don't think they're going to really have that many other games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. What about Sony?
Sony, man. Okay, so we're coming closer to the end of 2015, going into 2016, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that certain IPs like Final Fantasy and things like that, they're going to showcase their demos, maybe what they came up with since. Sony has a few IPs that they had for a long time, like The Last Guardian, and, or maybe that was the title. But like they had like a couple of IPs that like they sat on for years, and hopefully they'll see the light of day this time around, maybe with an actual release date.
Yeah.
I see them shooting for a lot more games. I think they're gonna try to shoot something for. I don't know. They might give the Vita and the PlayStation TV like a boost in like advertisement, or like you could do this additional thing. But
yeah,
I just think that it's gonna be about the games and the system. I'm not saying the Vita wasn't a success. I just think that I don't know.
I kind of wonder if because Uncharted was delayed, that maybe it might make an E3 appearance.
Yes, I would agree with you that they have to bring Uncharted in, just because of the fact that like there's always got to be that update. Like, oh, what about this? So hopefully it does show up. That would be pretty kick ass.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think the only other thing that I can imagine is maybe they might show up a new feature or two using the PlayStation camera. Maybe they'll go into something more for streaming, more media centric, but nothing of the nature of like Xbox would. I think the only other thing that I would imagine is maybe a couple of Sony's like first party like games. A lot of maybe Capcom will show up to do the maybe more of the thing for Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, I can see that too.
because ironically enough, that's only for PC and PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Xbox does not get it.
Hmm.
And I remember reading an article
Forgot about
because,
that.
because Street Fighter 5 comes out on the PS4 as an exclusive for a while,
Yeah,
then
I
on the
think they
PC,
announced it.
but they're not going to shoot it on the Xbox One.
But that was, I mean, that's because the Xbox One at the time wasn't really selling very well or something like that, right?
No, I think people were mad in the concept of like because how Microsoft acquired Rare. So obviously, they kept Killer Instinct to themselves.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you figure for great for fans of the Xbox One to have Killer Instinct, and it's kind of garbagey that you had to kind of pay a little bit to unlock all the characters in it. Um,
Yeah,
but I mean, playing Killer Instinct is awesome.
yeah.
But at the same time, like the fact that you don't share it, you figure not to say it's a jab, but I guess you could say Capcom took a jab at the concept of like, well, if you got your own proprietary thing, we'll just keep our money and do whatever.
Yeah.
Now it just seems to me, at least PlayStation, the fact that PlayStation and the PC are going to have their versions, and supposedly there was talks about there was going to be cross-platform, so you can actually fight against someone that has a PC.
Now that's awesome.
Now, I
I like
cannot
that
wait.
concept.
So if that's the case, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
The fact that and that's the thing, man. You introduce technology in the manner that like you can cross-platform, at least with two different systems.
Hmm.
You can go pretty crazy in terms of I guess what you can do, especially if Sony really wanted to supposedly go that route where you can kind of, I guess, unify, people online versus or on a computer versus on a system, especially for games like Destiny and and a few others. That would just be insanely nuts.
Yeah, I agree.
But other than that, um, Sony will have a lot. I think Sony will have a lot of third parties come in. Microsoft will have a couple of third parties. I think Microsoft's going to focus more on themselves. Sony's going to do more of third parties and like the reason, and they're going to showboat the concept of like, oh well, we got it so much better here at Sony with your system. So I think they're going to rub it in on Microsoft's face just a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they tend to do that.
Um,
Each other's faces.
but besides those two, Nintendo. Um, Now I know you are excited as hell, so I gotta hear your take on it.
Okay. Well, you know that Eiji Aonuma announced that releasing the new Zelda game in 2015 will no longer be a priority.
Okay.
Um, so, and they also announced that that Zelda game was going to skip E3,
Oh.
which is fine. I mean, they've already showed gameplay of it. They already showed how the game is going to work and how it's going to play and everything. The only thing I want out of that Zelda game at E3 would be at least let us know some sort of release season, I guess. And I would want also at least like the official Zelda title, like The Legend of Zelda, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That I think that's something I would want from Nintendo. Um, I'm also kind of hoping for some sort of announcement. How's it eye? Some sort of announcement for either like the new Star Fox game or hopefully maybe even like a new F-Zero game.
Yes. Man.
Because you and me, man, like we got down on some F-Zero X and some F-Zero GX back in the day on the GameCube and 64, and those games were fun as hell.
Oh yeah.
So I would hope. I'm really hoping that F-Zero makes a return for the Wii U. I think they'll show Star Fox. Um, I'm not sure exactly when Mario Maker is going to be released, but if it's after E3, I think Mario Maker will also make an appearance. Just giving us some more basic ideas or concepts of that game. What the hell's in my eye? But what else? Maybe no. I don't know. Let's say a new Pokemon game, but I think a new one with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire just releasing. I don't think that's going to happen because those games just recently released.
Yeah, I don't think they'll come out with another set for at least a couple of years.
Oh, the other thing, I really they need to announce something or give us some sort of teaser or something on Metroid. I want to see a new Metroid game on Wii U and 3DS. I know they're making one for each currently. And I honestly think that the new Metroid on Wii U is going to be Metroid Prime 4. Only because of the way Metroid Prime 3 ended. Also, back in 2013, was it? There was some sort of leak that Retro Studios was working on a new Metroid Prime game.
Right.
And there were kind of pictures that were released, a video that was released of like somebody, I guess, test running a new Metroid Prime game or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it was a while back. But I think that it's a little overdue. Give us something, a teaser, a picture, a title, something, or even tell us that you're working on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Nintendo's in a good situation where they got all the good IPs, like all the very nostalgic ones. I would definitely pay money to be able to have another F-Zero game.
Oh yeah. Anybody would, man.
Now, F-Zero X was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
When Sega took over and did F-Zero GX, like that was probably the best racing game. Stunningly awesome visuals. The fact that it was done at 60 frames a second, where like your eyes hurt just to keep up with the action. That was probably the craziest time playing any racer in a long time.
Yeah.
And man, so you figure that was back in what, GameCube?
Yeah, F-Zero GX came out on the GameCube.
So you figure it's due for a return.
Yeah, because F-Zero completely skipped last generation.
The fact that I think they only did that because how the Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, so I can see them skipping out on it.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Now the fact that you're on the system where Wii U and like super high definition, or at least regular high definition, they're at a point where they can release F-Zero, and it will hold out.
Oh yeah, I agree.
The amount of detail that you would put in it would be astounding. That would be the coolest thing to ever see in the E3 in recent years. Metroid, I hope they do come out with another one, simply like you said, because it was due for a while. Yeah. Now, I know they skip every so many years, but the only good thing I can say about that is that those games never really sucked. If ever, for story.
I've never played a Metroid game that was bad.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, that would be the coolest thing to come up.
To me, Other M was okay. It wasn't a great game, but it was one of those games that I could settle for, I guess.
Right. I mean, it wasn't like
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't
right. Good. Nintendo. I mean, yeah, I would like to see something about Mario Maker. I would like to see something about. I don't know if they're going to do any more Super Mario Brother games per se. I think they might actually take a break. I don't know if they'll push. Well, since Zelda's not going to be mentioned at any point, I don't know if there's many other sequels to other franchises like Pikmin, or maybe I'm trying to think of another IP that they have exclusive rights to. I want to say.
I think they need to release an Animal Crossing game on the Wii U.
If they do, I don't want to say it'll be a physical game. I imagine it'll be a download.
Hey, that'd be as long as it's its own game. As long as it's like a full Animal Crossing game.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a really good idea. Because the last couple have only been on 3DS. The last main Animal Crossing game on console was on the GameCube.
True. I just think that they should push their games like that. I also think that obviously there, and once again, separate subject on all this, but you figure, Metroid's got or not Metroid, bleh, Nintendo's got some exclusivity, say like Earthbound, and there's like a whole bunch of games in that series.
They need, oh my god, Earthbound. They need to release Mother 3.
They should.
Mother 2. Maybe do like a bundle for the 3DS and release those two games.
If anything, I guess Earthbound was supposed to be game number 2 in the series, because there's one before that, and it was for like Nintendo, and like I guess we as people, as gamers, and fan addicts are going to find out like, oh, there's like this version, or hey, we missed out on the other 3 games, and now we got to go ahead and find like fan translations, repro cartridges, and people that emulate and whatever. And you figure that it's about time that Nintendo finally cashed in on I mean, I imagine some of those games are already translated, so I can't imagine them not being able to put out like the collection for like $30. And you figure people are going to buy that entire collection.
Well, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Earthbound was a fantastic game. I would totally do. I would, if they bundle them and say release them on even like the eShop for either Wii U or 3DS, I'd get it.
Yeah, I would totally get it. And some other, man, I think Nintendo got it right with their eShop, at least, where they made all their available catalog available. I feel that Sony, and like I said, probably a subject for another video, but I feel like Sony did bad for their PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
Where, I see they did right on the PS3, where, fine, there's a PS1 Classic, you're going to go for it, and you're going to buy a heavier copy. I know you bought all the Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, and, the problem is that you still have to keep your PS3, and, you figure, well, why can't I just play on the PlayStation 4? Why can't I just access my old, my old store? And it's just not like that. And the fact that you have to pay what it would be I think for 3 months it was like $45, I believe, to be able to use the PlayStation Now for unlimited games. You figure you have to pay that maybe 3 or 4 times. In addition, now granted, paying for the PlayStation Plus for the year is cheap in comparison for a full year's worth of having PlayStation Now. That's I think if it is 3 months and it's 40, we'll say $40, you would have to give up nearly a little bit more than $150 a year to be able to back catalog all those games and rent them out and play them, and that's just
way
absurd.
Too much money. Way too much.
That is way too much. I mean, right now, and for all the viewers, I imagine you could probably go on eBay, look up granted for whatever they're still reliable as, you can still get a PS3, even the original 20 and 60 gig models. It would only be $160, and some people probably already modded them to the point where it's they won't break.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And you know what? That'd probably be well worth it. Or if not, at least find another decent PS2. Because, man, for instance, there was maybe a few months back, but I acquired Fear Effect 2, Parasite Eve and Parasite Eve 2. I got all those classic games back in physical copies. And I know some of them are not in stores, or not in the PlayStation Store. And I know there's a lot of people that will easily pay the $10 premium to even just have a digital copy of the game. and just be able to just play it. And since the PlayStation 4 is more PC engineered, I imagine it would be easy just to be able to just almost like emulate it to the point where it would work out and be fun and not have to worry about it. But once again, that's a subject for another conversation. But man, if there's one thing Nintendo got right, I think is at least the fact that they back catalog all their stuff and be happy.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, if you're listening, you should definitely re-release all the Earthbounds in English.
Yeah. I agree. They need to do that because, like I said, Earthbound was fantastic.
Yeah.
Get it done, Nintendo.
Agreed.
But all right, man. Well, we're gonna wind this thing down.
No, ready?
I want to thank you for coming on and recording the podcast as usual.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, man. Like anything else, man, it's always fun to do this.
Oh yeah, dude. It's always good, to especially have a conversation with somebody in a gamer standpoint as like-minded as you, because we both grew up in the same eras of gaming and experienced everything at the same time.
Yeah.
So like whenever I have opinions, like where I'm coming from.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. But everyone that's watching, thank you guys for watching. My Twitter link and my Twitch is in the description below. Please, guys, feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And always remember, beards are the new six-pack. Take it easy, everyone.
All right, later on.